Lucky 13th today for Sacramento 100. Story by Pat Frizzell, sports editor of Sacramento Union. Although today's is the 13th annual Golden State 100 at the California State Fairgrounds, it is a lucky occasion for the thousands of automobile racing fans in this area. J.C. Agajanian's 100-mile championship grind is the only major annual event for Indianapolis-type cars on the Pacific Coast and one of just two west of the Mississippi. Spectators are here today, as for the previous dozen installments of this classic, from all over the West. Again, they will see almost all the great names of modern auto racing. Parnelli Jones, who guided promoter Agajanian's own car to victory in the Race of Races, the 1963 Indianapolis 500 on Memorial Day, leads an outstanding field. Jones, who will be piloting a dirt track designed duplicate of the rapid vehicle which won at Indy, never has managed to win Sacramento's race, despite his exceptional career elsewhere, culminated in his Indy triumph last May. Jones's highest Sacramento finish has been second, behind Rodger Ward in 1961. This gifted driver from Torrance hopes the 13th annual Fairgrounds 100 will prove to be his lucky one. Anthony Joseph Foyt, AJ to those of us, of Houston, Texas, a fiery driver and one of auto racing's all-time great competitors, is back to defend the championship he won in the Golden State 100 last year. In October 1962, before a whopping crowd of 12,450, which contributed to a gate of $42,760 here, Foyt took the lead from former winner Jim Hurtubise on the sixth lap and fought off all challengers to the win. It was Foyt's second Golden State 100 triumph, for the spunky Texan also led the way in the Fairgrounds in 1960. Foyt won at Indianapolis 1961, was national point champion 1960 and 61, and leads the national point standings again this year. Ward, like Foyt, a controversial figure as the result of arguments surrounding torrid competition in the East and Midwest this year, hopes to return to the throne again with a victory today. It would be his third here, for the veteran speed merchant also won the Golden State 100 in 1959 and 1961. Among other leading contenders are certain to be Hurtubise, who won the Golden State in 1959, Don Branson, runner-up here last year, Jim McElreath, a steady challenger for points laurels all this season, Chuck Holson, who has surprised many by remaining tenaciously near the top in points, and Johnny Rutherford, steadily improving and perhaps ripe for a major victory. But every one of the big car pilots in today's field is thoroughly proficient, highly experienced, and entirely capable of taking first place. Jones, Foyt, and the other top favorites realize this. Sacramento has its own competent hometown entry, Chuck Booth, the former Elk Grove High School football player. Winning at the fairgrounds here last year was worth $5,720, including lap money, to Foyt, who averaged 97.22 miles an hour while finishing the 100 in 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 59 seconds, a new Golden State record. The driver to beat today is Anthony Joseph Foyt of Houston, Texas, the newly crowned national driving champion. It was at Sacramento last October that AJ and chief mechanic George Bignotti were reunited after an early season split-up. Since then, his team has connected for 6 victories, 3 seconds, 2/3, and a 4th in just 12 starts. AJ completely dominated this year's 12-race championship circuit. Of the 10 races to date, he's won 5, including all 3 Trenton races, 2 seconds, 2/3, and a 4th. His 5 wins brought his lifetime total to 17 victories since 1960. It also brought him his 3rd national driving championship over the same period. Talking Texan set a new 100-mile mark in winning last year's Golden State 100. He averaged 97.22 miles per hour to knock nearly 5 minutes off Rodger Ward's old race record. AJ also set on the pole with a qualifying time of 36.82 seconds at 97.772 miles per hour. There we go. Shorty Templeman holds the qualifying record of 101.38 miles per hour, or 35.51 seconds. Rodger Ward's the driver to watch in car number 1, Kaiser Aluminum Special. He's the driver with more national championship victories to his credit, as well as more national championship points from 1946 to date, and is a personable Rodger Ward of Indianapolis. Ward captured 1/3 of his 9 starts this season to bring his lifetime total to 23 victories. The rest of his points came from a second, a third, and 2/4. He's won 2 or more races a season 8 times over in the last 11 years. Included in that total are 2 Indianapolis 500-milers, 1959 and 1962, and 2 Golden State Hundreds in 57 and 61. Rodger has a fantastic record of Indianapolis over the past 5 years. He, since joining the 3W team of driver Ward, car owner Bob Wilkie, and chief mechanic A.J. Watson, drove down victory lane in 1959 and 62. He was second in 1960, third in 61, and fourth in 63 behind Parnelli Jones, Jimmy Clark, and A.J. Foyt. The former P-38 pilot has scored more national championship points than any other driver from 1946 to date. He's rolled up 13,966 points. Foyt is second among active drivers for the same time period with 10,290 points. Car number 98 is the Agajanian Willard Battery Special, piloted by Parnelli Jones today. At Indianapolis this year, Parnelli Jones gave car owner J.C. Agajanian his second Memorial Day victory. Troy Ruttman in 1952 drove the last dirt track car ever to win at the Speedway. A triumph today by Jones would give Aggie his second Golden State 100 victory. Freddie Agajanian won the initial Agajanian presentation in 1949 at the State Fairgrounds. 1963 was a record-breaking year for Parnelli at Indianapolis. He broke his own 1- and 4-lap qualifying records to again sit on the pole, set a new race record of 143 miles per hour, and took home a record of $148,513 from an all-time record purse. Jones finished third last year in the final national championship point standings. Again this year, he is third in the current totals. After winning the national sprint crown in 1961 and 62, Rufus Parnell gave up defense of that title to concentrate on his many other commitments. Agajanian, the popular promoter with the inevitable wide-brimmed hat, invariably has brought Indianapolis champions to Sacramento over the past 15 years, but few have followed their Indy wins with top successes here. Bill Holland, Indy champ in 1949, was way behind Freddie Agajanian in Agajanian's car in 1949's inaugural Sacramento race. Duke Dinsmore won here in 1950 with Johnny Parsons, that year's Indy winner, in the field. There were no Sacramento races in 51 and 52, but Bill Vukovich of Fresno, the famed Indy winner, 53 and 54, also was entered at the fairgrounds in those years and both times trailed Jimmy Bryan. Bryan made it an unparalleled 3 consecutive championships here in 1955, that year overtaking Bob Swikert, who had won at Indy. Judd Larson, Ward, and Johnny Thompson led the way here in 56, 57, 58 with the Indy winners of those years, Pat Flaherty, Sam Hanks, and then Bryan, all trailing. Ward won at Indy in 1959, but Hurtubise beat him here. Then came Foyt to win in 1960, with Indy victor Jim Rathman not in the field. Ward to repeat in 1961 after Foyt won at Indy, and Foyt to regain the Golden State throne 1962, when Ward was the Indy King.
Hey, this is Harold. Glad you enjoyed that video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, put your comments down below. There's a lot more where this one came from.